Hare Krishna. So, this is to be considered one of the most important questions in Sanatan Dharma. Why do we do deity worship? So, there's some points to consider before we answer this question. The first point is that the form to be worshipped, the form of the Lord, has to be authorized. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 27th chapter, 12th verse, there's a shloka which explains that there are eight variety, Ashtavidha, forms of the Lord which are bona fide in which we can actually worship the deity. Shaili, Darumahi, Lauhi, Lepya, Lekya, Cha Shaikati, Manomai, Manimai, Pratima, Ashtavidha Smrtaha. So that which is made of stone, which is made of wood, which is made of metal, which is made of earth, which is made of paint, like a drawing, sand, and mind and jewels. So these are the eight forms. So these are the forms in which we can invoke the presence of the Lord and worship Him. Second point to consider is the method used for worshipping the Lord has to be authorized. This means that one must learn the method from someone bona fide like a guru or a senior person who is in a sampradaya, who is in a parampara, who has its basis of the teachings in Shastra. So unfortunately nowadays we see people they when they want to worship the Lord, they do it in a imitating fashion. Probably someone has seen a movie or seen some local pujaris who are worshipping, and in that form they copy. So this is wrong because this is like some a student who wants to study medicine, and for many years the student is just observing doctors in hospitals and clinics and seeing how they're doing their surgery, and after 10 years the student says that, you know what, I'm a qualified doctor now. For 10 years I've been seeing how people do all this, I think I can do it. No, that's not right. The student has to be qualified, has to go to medical school, has to study, and has to get exams, and has to get, be passed, tested. Then they are authorized. Similarly, to worship the Lord also, the methods have to be authorized, else it is just a mental speculation. So now, considering these 2 points, we'll enter into the answer. Why do we do deity worship in Sanatan Dharma? So the reason is for us to see the Lord. So the Lord agrees very mercifully to come in the form of the deity, as we call Archa Vigraha, for us to actually see the Lord. Now, there are many other religions who do not have a form of the Lord, do not have even sometimes a name of the Lord exactly. They do not have any pastimes of the Lord or anything of the Lord. But in Sanatan Dharma, in our Veda Shastras, they are extremely detailed description about the Lord's name, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Dhamma, the name, form, pastimes, qualities, and the supreme abode of the Supreme Lord. So the Lord comes in this form so that we can perceive Him, we can see Him, right? So, second point is that for us to serve Him. It is not that the Lord is in need of service. In Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma glorifies the Supreme Lord Krishna by saying a very beautiful prayer. चिन्तामणि प्रकरसत्मसुकल्पवृक्ष लक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तं लक्ष्मीसहस्रशतसम्भ्रमसेव्यमानं गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं tamaham bhajami. Brahmaji says that Lord in Vaikunta is being served by Lakshmi Sahasra Shata. 100,000 Lakshmis are serving him. So, what is there? Is Lord in need of our service? No. But actually, by serving him, we are the ones benefited. We become purified. Right? So, uh, by serving only, actually, we become more and more endeared towards the Lord, which brings us to our third point. For us to love Lord. This is the ultimate goal of life. The goal of life is to actually love the Supreme Lord, to develop prema, love for God. And this is developed by service. A simple analogy or an example is we generally see that mothers are more attached to their children than children are attached to mothers. Why? Because mothers have been serving their children since they were young, since 9 months in the womb, and after that, how did they serve? By bathing them, feeding them, clothing them, taking care of them. So much service they are doing that automatically love starts to develop. This is true even if the child is not theirs, even if it's an adopted child or whoever's child. If someone invests so much time and energy in taking care of somebody, naturally love develops. Similarly, the Lord is now giving us a chance that you too can love me, serve me by offering, bathing, clothing, offering food, celebrating festivals, and doing all these things for the Lord. That way, by so much service, our love actually develops for Him. Why this love is important? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me devyam evam yoveti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma nayati mamiti sorjuna. That one who knows about my transcendental birth and activities uh, scientifically, tattva, tatvatah. Such a person, upon leaving this body, which all of us ultimately have to do, we have to leave this body. Upon leaving this body, punarjanma na iti, they will not take birth again, maameti, but come to me. So, because a person in love is always constantly thinking of the Supreme Lord, in that way, when naturally, when he has to leave this body, he will actually return to the Supreme Lord. So, by worshipping the deity, it is a means for us to actually develop our love and constantly think of the Lord. See, if we do not love the Lord, we are going to end up loving material things. The problem with it is because material things are temporary, right? The amount of enjoyment and happiness it's going to give us is also temporary. Today you're happy, you have a phone. Tomorrow, when you lose that phone, you're going to be devastated. So that is a problem with investing full love in these things of this material world. But if we invest our love in the Supreme Lord, then definitely there'll always be happiness and always be satisfaction, because that is the real thing, right? So these are some of the main reasons why we are worshipping the Lord, which is actually based on Shastra. So therefore, deity worship is an integral, very important, scientific, beneficial, and in fact, one of the purposeful reasons in our Sanatan Dharma. Hare Krishna.